several aspects, but I would like to touch only a canonical point of view. Maybe the recent letter from the Apostolic Nuncio to India to the bishops of Tamil Nadu, dated October 8, 2021, regarding clerics managing trust societies to serve as a starting point. So I also sent the study response to this letter, which perhaps most of you must have read. In this letter, the Nuncio says, to address the issue, first he proposes that the matter must be regulated by the relevant bishops, following some guidelines that might be provided by the Bishops' Conference, and states further that the DNBC, Tamil Nadu Bishops' Council, formulates clear guidelines on the subject, if not already established. Without stopping there, the letter has subsequently prescribed 5 steps for the consideration of each individual bishop to resolve the problem. The DNBC has to formulate clear guidelines to address the issue. Is there a need for prescribing 5 steps for the individual bishop? Or, put it in another way, the bishops are to resolve the problem following the 5 steps prescribed by the Nuncio. Where is the need for common deliberation with the DNBC or the Episcopal Conference to evolve guidelines? In any case, if at all the DNBC formulates guidelines, are they binding upon the individual bishops? That's the crux of the problem. To put the question differently, does the DNBC have power of governance? Canon law sees power of governance in three powers: legislative, judicial, and administrative or executive. Therefore, all these powers, either with the Pope or the individual bishop in the Latin Church, they can legislate, they can judge, they can administer with the power according to the universal church or local church. But there are some intermediary groups in the church which have limited power of governance, either administrative or legislative. 2 intermediate groups: conferences of bishops and councils. Councils can be plenary or provincial. Conference of bishops, there is a limited legislative power, either set in the Code of Canon Law or given by the general authority by the Pope to give contributory or supplementary legislation. Plenary councils or provincial councils have limited powers also to have legislations for the province or the entire nation. The point is, the conferences of bishops, India, there are now 3, Synod, the Synod, the CCBI, CBCI is no more a conference legally. The CCBI has no mention about plenary council, no mention at all. Therefore, no legislative power has been exercised in the plenary council in the national level. Provincial councils, I never heard of any province. In Tamil Nadu there are 3 provinces. Never heard of any province celebrating their provincial council. Bishops meet, but it's not the provincial council. Provincial council, a synodal way of meeting people, represented by all the sections of the people of God: laity, range laity, religious, clerics, all that. But no province in India, I have not heard of celebrating a provincial council to evolve legislations. Now, what about DNBC? The DNBC, Tamil Nadu Bishops' Conference, is a very sorry state legally, because canon law has not addressed given legal powers to the Bishops' Conference. It must be given by the special faculty by the Pope, or for India, the propagation of faith. Several requests have been made by CCBI to grant the regional episcopal conferences. There are 14 in India, including Tamil Nadu, to establish each conference to some legislative power, but Rome has until today not granted this faculty. Granted this power, so it is not an episcopal conference, at least with some limited legislative power. DNDC. In the same way, Kerala, which is one of the 14 regional conferences, regions in India, described according to ethnic, cultural, all factors, they enjoy almost total autonomy in self-governance, especially legislative power, the Sira Malangara right or Sira Malabar right. Therefore, the Tamil Nadu Bishops' Council is not called a conference, has no legislative power at all. Therefore, I wonder what is the point of the Nuncio asking the Tamil Nadu Bishops' Council to evolve guidelines or whatever it is not going to bind on any individual bishop. So what is the purpose of it? That's the situation. Regarding the legislative power, just address this. The second point is administration of justice. Administration of justice. Therefore, in India or all over the world, we know democratic countries, there is judicial system which immediately responds to some grievances or disputes. In canon law or in the church, there is no immediate mechanism to resolve disputes or grievances raised by people of God or any concerned person. For example, I just quoted few scenarios, not with any knowledge, just quoted this. The diocese bishop not engaging all the parish property, diocese property, in order to build a medical college. Or a diocese bishop denying any fund for pastoral work, constructing for several crores a multi-speciality hospital. Or a religious superior suspending a priest without following the canonical procedures. Or a bishop trying to cover a priest of his caste who has embezzled several lakhs of money, just trying to cover up. Just quoting examples, not with any bad motive. Now, any people of God is aggrieved of these decisions. How to resolve this? Now, canon law says, first stage is to refer the grievance to the one who made this decision. It is very funny, very illegal. How to refer a matter to a person who himself evolved this degree and ask him to, very funny. Only in the third stage, there is apostolic signatura, where the matter will be dealt administratively, judicially, with all evidences, witnesses, all that. Only in the third place there is only Rome. For such a huge universal church, there is only one administrative tribunal in Rome. So this is the situation. How to protect persons who are agreeing of this kind of decisions with goodwill or ill will or bad will or out of motives. Therefore, we need to address this issue, constituting at least administrative tribunals provincially, if not provincially, but in the provinces or at least in the regional level. Unless we have an immediate access where the dispute can be looked at or adjudged with the socio-cultural, pastoral background. Church is not going to say we are just. we are doing justice in the world. Therefore, that's the second point. The third point I also wanted to say about the economic disparity. Economic disparity, inequality. In the morning also, Father, you are discussing about inequality. I am not going to say it much. Some dioceses are rich, some dioceses are poor. Each bishop is like a field of rich diocese, poor diocese, left to his situation to suffer, and another diocese with all money, you don't know what to do with the money. There is no equality in the region, the Tamil Nadu region, equality or distribution of wealth, by which there is some justice also in the economic condition, economic development of the region. Therefore, one best solution is to evolve the synodal structure of this Tamil Nadu region to evolve legislative, to have legislative competence, especially to establish administrative tribunals and also economic disparity. To avoid economic disparity. To just put this question, the principle of subsidiarity, and now the much discussed principle of synodality, will they bring any change? It's my question.
Thank you, Father. Sebastian, for a beautiful analysis. Canonical analysis shows that there are these structural problems. The problems we suffer in the local church and the people, some are structural problems, some of them we don't have. But there are still ways in which there are remedies, but not within the canonical parameters, it should not exist. So we put pressure on the administration officers that we are why don't the canonical allow to do that? There are certain things until the regional councils, as I said, but we are receiving and insisting the city officers in Bangalore, Secretary of CBCA was there, that this must be one of the requests from the Indian Church that the synodal structure must be. So the appointment of bishops means that there will be fight. It is better that it is decided in Tamil Nadu than many things there they have to face. Why have not appointed? And the municipal is sitting there and he is quoting the legislative code. So therefore I think those things at least we can do, which can be enforced. Cancer. Yeah. We are Canonist there.
Merlin is a Canonist from St. Peter's Seminary.
I'm also teaching canon law in St. Peter's for MCL. And I'm known for the Sebastian Karambai as a student, and I have also referred to his books, and I have also quoted him in my thesis and all. And according to the canon number 455, paragraph 1, actually when the code also foresees some places wherein the Episcopal conferences can enact their own laws for their own CCB, their own conference, Episcopal conferences. And based on that, based on canon number 1722, that is, I think that will follow the reply, whereby any Episcopal conference can also envisage a body at the provincial level. It says that there is some sort of conciliation committee or something like that. And I am also involved in the process of making complementary legislation to the Code of Canon Law for the CCB at the moment. And then where we have also proposed this idea of establishing not as a tribunal for at the level like reconciliation committee, something like that, at the provincial level, wherein the problems could be tried out to find a solution before taking it up in a tribunal level or at the judicial level in a legal manner.
Just a clarification. Our tribunals, the tribunal
Administration will all back recommended. But even there, minimum bishops are not established.
It's not established.
Not established. There is reconciliation.
not established.
Johnson.
Johnson, then we break for
And with regard to the first one, I would repeat the words of Professor Felix Wilfred, because yesterday validity function he insisted on the same. The Eastern churches are enjoying the synodality to elect their members or whatever decision making, whereas the Catholic Church is deprived of Latin rite is deprived of this right. Probably that could be also one of the proposals that we have to pass through this the process of synodality, which has to reach the central level or Rome, whatever, from Indian perspective. That's what he insisted. And there was a lot of response to it. People are also really for it. I mean, this kind of change must come in. Probably you really echoed that sense here. And the next thing is that regarding administrative justice, of course, we know there is a lot of cover-ups going on regarding when the things happen wrong among the clergy. We have our own ways how to really things. No, that is a. I would like to insist on the last point, economic disparity. And I think from this perspective, we have to think about the use of human resources in the Catholic Church. I mean, the church where we are. Are we really making use of this human resource? Plenty of priests and nuns. And when we really think about our use, the time we spend, the amount of energy that we possess, the institutions we have, the space we hold, are we really using the purpose of this? For example, yesterday also I was sharing with my colleagues about the space, the amount of it which involves a lot of money and energy. Still we are preoccupied with building big, huge cathedrals and wasting the economy of the public. They are faithfully given to in the name of God or whatever it may be. But we have to really think about this. Proper use of human resource, which the Catholic Church needs an enlightenment, in which we can really bring down the economic disparity among the dioceses at the local level. Thank you very much.
We'll break for 15 minutes.